Thanks for staying with us here on TVC News. We're staying with the tragedy that struck Gbajibo village, Niger State, where 42 persons were killed in a boat accident. Reports say investigations into the boat mishap is ongoing, with the spotlight now on the lack of safety regulations on the waterways. Bamei visited the grieving community where the victims that drowned in that boat accident were buried.
The 42 victims of the Gbajibo boat tragedy were on their way to celebrate the Muslim Maulud in this village when tragedy struck. They were coming from Gbajibo Mundi in Kwara State, looking forward to participate in a religious celebration, but they did not get to their destination alive. This is where the commemoration of the Maulud Muslim festival takes place, just a stone's throw from the riverbank. This is the port of disembarkment for villagers traveling by boat. This is the riverbank that has become a burial ground for those that lost their lives in this water. Last year in 2023, I reported right from the spot that about 26 persons were buried here after a boat incident. And this year, 42 persons have been buried here. The conversation is, how safe is water transportation? And how much is the government ready to enforce the usage of life jackets when people are traveling by this water?
So, by there, the wind started increasing, bounding the canoe. From there, the canoe break right from the bottom. So from this bottom, the water started enter canoe. The canoe break, the wind break the water break the canoe.
The Maulud celebration was immediately cancelled after news of the fatal accident circulated around here. But the key question is, what kind of regulatory precautions exist to ensure compliance with safety standards on the waterways, and how are these measures enforced? TVC News visited Gbajibo, where the grieving families came to bury the dead. The mourners hold on to their faith and believe the accident was predestined.
Getting
life jackets is the government's responsibility. We are local people. If the government had provided them, we would have won them. We've been traveling for years without any incidents like this. This is unfortunate. Government should help us and ease our sufferings so that such incidents would not happen to us again. That's all we ask. There has been frequent boat accidents on rivers that are tributaries to the River Niger basin, covering about 2.2 million square meters and supporting agriculture, fishing and hydroelectric power. Since 2005, 550 deaths have been reported from boat accidents. In 2022, there were 6 boat accidents and 98 deaths. In 2023 alone, there were 8 boat accidents with 65 deaths recorded. This year, there has been 5 boat accidents in Niger State and 61 deaths. In a phone interview, the area commander of the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, Akapu Adebayo, revealed that the latest boat that capsized was not fit for water transportation. It was overcrowded, lacked safety precautions, and the passengers had no life jackets to reducing their chances of drowning.
You know, when wind come across like that with the water wave, any boat that if it's not sound enough, that is what causes the breakage. Even we came to the knowledge that one of the engine was seriously down, and the man still think he can manage the remaining one engine, down to the new Gbajibo, but along the way, the engine failed him.
Boat operators here are notorious for defying safety regulations, overloading their boats and putting the lives of commuters at risk. Despite the obvious lack of safety measures, more boats are still busy carrying people across the water from one community to the other. We've warned our people against traveling at night, and they heeded. They were close to Kwata before the wind came and broke the boats. But before now, the people listened to our warnings. This is just unfortunate. First, we want the government to provide us with emergency boats for easy rescue, in case such an incident happens again, God forbid. and also life jackets, so that before any boat leaves, everyone on board must wear one.
And you know, most of the time, what they normally do is that all these boat operators, as colleagues, they'll be hiding. In fact, I went as far as the waterfront where the accident happened to where they buried the people, and I made some inquiry within the villages along the shore, waterfront, you know, to see maybe they can give me a pointer. But yet we don't have a pointer. I'm still on the ground in Bajibo. That's why I'm still waiting. And I will know. I have already. I'm working in conjunction with Bajibo police people and the vigilante, you know. And at the same time, in fact, one of the things I want to do today is, if I need to even arrest the head of the boat operator in Bajibo, by the time I arrest him, they will find they will bring the man out.
Despite losing family, friends and relatives to a boat accident, those who have come to mourn will still travel back to their destination by boat with the same exposure. There seems to be so much work for regulatory agencies to do in these riverine communities, as the waters is still the most convenient means of commuting between communities and villages in the area. Chenemi Bamei, TVC News, Bajibo.
Meanwhile, in Ondo State, the government has responded to the flood disaster by deploying officials to the affected areas to carry out dredging and clearing of drainage systems. Senior reporter Ayodeji Moradeo reports.
This is not the first time the town has experienced flooding of this magnitude, which has become a perennial crisis. Friday's devastation caused by the flood left many residents in shock as it impeded the free flow of vehicles, leaving numerous commuters stranded for hours. Some of the areas affected in the town include Itanla Road, Okeodunwo, Odojomu, Okeidera, and Iluyemi, among others. While several houses were submerged, vehicles were also not spared.
Yesterday, we were preparing to perform at Exporter here for our regular Friday jump. Before we know it, it started raining, and we were just like, okay, maybe the rain will stop. But unfortunately, the rain brought a lot of flood, and it has, even personally, it has affected my trucks, some of my musical instruments got damaged.
I was at shop yesterday, but when my neighbors called me that I should not come home, that this thing, the flood has happened again. So I have to send people to my home to go and look for my children.
Many of the residents in Ondo City are not happy for what happened yesterday. Something like this happened about 4 years ago, but it's not as strong as this.
Officials from the Ondo State Ministry of Environment, led by the Commissioner Oyeleyin Oseni, have visited the affected areas. Dredging, clearing and evacuation activities were carried out to mitigate the effects of the flood.
The state governor has been doing all to give us maximum support to ensure that we didn't record any flood in Ondo State. We had our work plan, and everybody in this city can bear witness that we have been on ground for the past 2 weeks trying to carry out our sanitation program in order not to experience what we had yesterday.
As residents of Ondo town count their losses, they are hopeful that the state government will find a lasting solution to the recurring natural disaster. Ayodeji Moradeo, TVC News.
Now, road users along the Oyo-Gbomosho Road are asking the federal government to fix the uncompleted road project to ease them of the stress caused by the deplorable state of the roads. Senior reporter Olaido Yewole, who spoke with travelers along the road, has more in this report.
For some months now, contractors have stopped construction work on the Ogbomosho-Oyo Road, leaving the project in a state of uncertainty. The 44.5-kilometer stretch, which is about 65% completed, has been a source of both relief and concern for road users traveling through the road. The idea to have this express road was conceived in 1979, and it was not until the early 2000s, during the administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo, that the project gained momentum.
This is the end point of the Section 2 of the Oyo-Ogbomosho Road. And this point is the junction that connects Ogbomosho to Ilorin. It has become a nightmare for travelers.
Sabi Musa has been stuck on this road for over 5 hours after 3 days of departing Kano.
Today I reached around 8:30. So I did by now. Day after 1 now. So since morning when I did here, I don't move too much, so and the thing don't stop. So we never know how the thing will be. Go first now. That's so they pray all the day. We wake up. That's how they pray to. They pray make Gomo Air Force do the road so that we say we could enjoy ourselves.
Road users say to get to this end point of the road from Oyo is often challenging due to the incomplete construction, as drivers who are forced to ply the old road often became blocked for days.
I spent like 3 days from Onigari to Oyo. If not be say, I be indigenous of this town, Nanya in Mengu, from Ajawa back to Aromale. That's why I'm Mengu. But all these trailer people now, as I did now, I be driver, I be transporter for this inside of Ogbomoso. All these things where we are facing is not easy.
Yeah, I passed 3 days. I did Ogbomoso now. I never come out since up to now.
But the past administration claimed they have paid to complete the road. Meanwhile, the Senate recently invited the current Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, over the state of the road, and it is expected that this development will yield a positive outcome. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ogbomosho, Oyo State.